Okay, so after my last video where I talked about the world ending or not, and end times thinking and things like that, I'm not a fan. It occurs to me that I might want to address a question here as to what I actually believe and my spiritual path as it has evolved, my belief system. I was initiated into Christianity through the Catholic Church. Christmas and Easter Catholics, not really too observant, for which I give thanks. Enough to learn the dogma and get really irritate the parents if I tried to talk about it at home. When I was military, I had a bit of a crisis of faith and decided to get saved, thinking it was all about making a joyful noise unto the Lord and wanting to be happy and dance around with it. And then suddenly reading more and more and more and becoming more and more locked down and repressed and negative and thinking the devil was behind every tree. I am not a huge fan of those little cartoon tracts, even though I do cartoons myself, and I know that drawing pictures and illustrating your point is a great way to get the point across. It's easier for people to follow than, it's kind of like infographics today. It's easier for people to follow a cartoon tract than to read a whole treatise. Well, after all that, I was attracted to folk magic. One branch of my family practices it, but doesn't have a coherent start to finish procedure. They just practice little things in folk magic. And I went a little further than that, became a practicing psychic. I read the tarot, and I learned that the tarot is really a book of illustrations. The traveling people who use the tarot may have been able to speak all the languages of the people they visited, but they didn't necessarily read them all, so they relied on the stories being shown as illustrations. Anyway, after that, I was initiated into Covenant of the Goddess, which is a way of organizing Wicca in California, most notably. Other places, of course, but most notably in California. I'm an initiated witch, and I love to wear a pentacle that is a 5-pointed star and a wreath of flowers. And then after that, I have not left Wicca behind, but I've become more and more interested in the law of attraction, Esther Hicks, channeling Abraham and what she has to say about it, and coming at matter and energy being on a continuum. Basically, spirit and body are energy and matter. Spirit and body, as said by the ancients, are energy and matter. And using quantum mechanics, becoming aware of quantum mechanics, it is possible to change things dramatically. I have had some unusual experiences along those lines. I can detail those later. But I've come to realize that there are laws in the universe that work whether we attach personal spirit identities to them or not. And this is a very exciting place to be at on my journey. I read a book called The World's Religions by Huston Smith, a Protestant minister who explores several world religions, many of them, goes around the world as much as possible, and he speaks with respect about all of them. And I believe that is the correct attitude to take. I believe that all the world's religions are talking about matter and energy, and they're going with the biases of their language and their culture, and that is what they're doing. Anyway, that's me, for people who want to know. Have a great day.